Hello and welcome to FBNC News. This is Yingzhen.
This is Jin Lei, and following are the headlines for today's program. Vietnam attracts $8.5 billion of FDI in the first quarter.
Vama proposes a 50% discount in value-added tax for car buyers.
Vietnam to halt new contracts for rice export until March 28. The number of COVID-19 patients in Vietnam continues to rise. Just in the last 24 hours, 14 new cases have been confirmed, bringing the total number of COVID-19 infections in Vietnam to 148. And out of 14 new cases, 11 have no risk of spreading the disease to the community. 3 patients have spent their time with other people. Specifically, patient number 135 is Vietnamese, traveled from Denmark to Da Nang International Airport on March 21st. After entry, patients were sent for quarantine immediately. The next 5 patients from number 136 to 140 are international students arriving in Nội Bài from different countries. Currently, all 5 patients are being quarantined at Dong An Central Hospital for tropical diseases.
Patient number 141 is another health worker having participated in the combat against the pandemic, working at the Dong An Central Tropical Disease Hospital. Reportedly, the patient who was infected when setting up the ventilator for patient number 28 and was exposed the same day with the patient number 116, another doctor working at this department. From number 142 to 145 cases were recorded in Ho Chi Minh City. Number 146 was found in Nghệ An. Patient number 147 and 148 was announced in Hanoi. Patient number 147 is an international student from England who arrived in Nội Bài on March 21st. Patient number 148 is a tourist from France to Vietnam on March 12. Currently, 2 patients are being treated at Dong An Central Tropical Hospital. Foreign direct investment into Vietnam has totaled $8.55 billion so far this year, 21% less than the same period of 2019, according to the Ministry of Planning and Investment.
In the first quarter, 758 new projects were certified with a total newly registered capital of $5.5 billion. Foreign investment went to 18 areas, with electricity production and distribution receiving the most, $4 billion, followed by manufacturing, retail, wholesale, and real estate. Singapore, with $4.5 billion, was the biggest of 87 foreign investors in Vietnam. Second and third biggest investors are from Japan and China. Of 55 investment destinations in Vietnam, Bạc Liêu is the province that received the most FDI, followed by Ho Chi Minh City, Tây Ninh, Hanoi, and Bình Dương.
According to the Vietnam Association of Seafood Exporters and Producers, due to the impact of COVID-19, most businesses experienced a 35 to 50% reduction in orders, including cancellations, delays, and lack of raw materials in production.
Pangasius products have been experiencing the most serious impact of the virus pandemic. From the beginning of the year until now, most of the export activities to China have been interrupted and stopped. From March 2020, when the COVID-19 crisis spread to Europe and the US, many Pangasius export orders were stuck, cancelled, or suspended. For stream products, businesses have offered flexible price reduction of 25 to 30% to stimulate demand, but still have 35 to 50% of export orders to the US and EU delayed or cancelled. Now, with the COVID-19 continuing to spread rapidly, many businesses have slowed down and facing a lot of challenges. Even if the pandemic ends in May, Vietnam's textile and garment industry in particular could face a loss of about 11,000 billion Vietnam đồng. And 30 to 50% of the industry's workforce will also become unemployed around this time.
Some experts say that the domestic market growth of the textile industry will decline when the economy increases slowly. Meanwhile, Chinese factories have resumed operation. Low market demand will lead to a strong global price decline, with prices expected to drop by more than 20%. In addition, the textile and apparel industry imports about $1.5 billion of materials per month. In case 20% of orders are cancelled, the whole industry will have $300 million of materials that have been imported but not used, leading to backlogs. It's forecast that 30 to 50% of labor will become unemployed around April and May, causing a loss of over 5,000 billion Vietnamese dong for the whole industry. If the situation persists, the industry will lose up to 3,000 billion Vietnamese dong per month. Vinatex Group gives a hypothesis that if the COVID-19 pandemic ends in late May and the economy recovers from June 2020, it's estimated that Vietnam's textile and garment industry will lose 11,000 billion Vietnamese dong and the group will lose 1,000 billion Vietnamese dong. The government said on Wednesday that Vietnam will temporarily suspend signing new rice export contracts until at least March 28.
According to a document issued by the government office, Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc has requested the Ministries of Trade and Agriculture to submit an evaluation report on domestic rice supplies and export. In the meantime, signing new export contracts will be temporarily on hold. For contracts that have been signed, export activities will be handled following the submission of the report.
Due to the reduced purchases of new cars under the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, car makers in Vietnam have proposed a 50% reduction in value-added tax and registration fees for car buyers.
Facing the current crisis, members of the Vietnam Automobile Manufacturers Association have submitted a written report to the government and related ministries to propose a reduction of 50% on value-added tax and registration fees for car buyers to stimulate consumption. In order for a new car to hit the road, buyers need to pay additional fees such as registration, road maintenance, insurance, and plate licensing. So in theory, if the 50% reduction of VAT and registration fees applied, the corresponding price of cars will decrease. The proposal is now waiting for approval. With a growing number of ride-hailing platforms in Vietnam, in January 2020, the government issued Decree Number 10 with updated regulations on road transportation services by cars. Accordingly, vehicles with fewer than 9 seats providing passenger transportation services will be managed like traditional taxis.
Under the new decree, all cars providing passenger transportation services via ride-hailing apps will be treated like taxis from the beginning of April, when the pilot program for ride-hailing services officially ends on the 1st of April, and must have a taxi logo with the vehicle's details stick to the right side of the vehicle's front glass. The decree also states that all taxis must install a sign with the word taxi, xe taxi on the roof, or a sign made of reflective materials on the front and rear windows.
Hà Anh Phượng, an English teacher at Hương Cần High School in Phú Thọ Province, has made it to the 50 finalists for the 2020 Global Teacher Prize by the Varkey Foundation, a global charitable foundation focused on providing the standards of education for underprivileged children. Each year, the prize is given to an exceptional teacher who has made an outstanding contribution to their profession.
In an hour-long lesson on the topic, Say No to Plastic Waste, the students confidently present their project in English. The audience are not only students from one class, but also those in other classes connected online from other parts of the world. This teaching method actually stemmed from the difficulties that the mountainous schools where Phượng teaching had been facing.
Trung học phổ thông Hương Cần là một trường miền núi.
The students here, they do not have the opportunity to practice English with foreigners. So organizing an online classroom for them to interact with teachers and friends around the world helps them improve their English skills. A lesson like this only requires a laptop, a Skype account to join the Global Teacher Forum, and a stable internet connection. Students from 6 countries in 4 continents are connected with each other in the same virtual classroom. From what was initially shyness and quietness when Phượng first started the class, after nearly 2 years, her English class has become full of excitement and something her students always look forward to.
Em cảm thấy rất là hứng thú á.
I am very excited and always look forward to English classes.
Lúc đầu thì chúng em không tránh khỏi.
It was awkward at first, but after a year, now I can present my project with confidence. Online classes are also where Miss Phượng and her beloved students proudly introduce and exchange Vietnamese culture with friends from other countries. I was really surprised at the English abilities of the teachers and students at Hương Cần High School. I hope to come to Phú Thọ one day. It's a great honor for me to surpass tens of thousands of entries to make it to the final. I hope my lessons will inspire students in remote and deprived areas as well as other teachers. Turning down a director position offer from a pharmaceutical company, yet the young teacher has no regrets about choosing to return to her hometown to teach. Miss Phượng and her online classes have contributed to proving that education is unlimited.
And that's all for today. Thank you for watching.
We'll see you tomorrow. Take care of yourself.